You're now listening to
a new podcast featuring Crystal and Claiborne.
We're recording.
What's going on, people? This is our very first podcast. And to get us started, we're going to do a little introduction of ourselves. Maybe even having a walk down memory lane.
I have an idea to play a game called Get to Know You Tag. And basically, I will ask a question and we answer it how we think each other would answer it.
Okay.
So the first question is, what is your full name?
My full name?
You would answer for me.
Your full name is Crystal Diane Johnson.
Okay, your full name is Claiborne Timothy Johnson.
That is correct.
Okay, what does your name mean?
Well, my first name is from my grandfather.
I would answer that. You have to answer what my name means.
Okay, your name, Crystal. Because we didn't want to give you my first name, we decided to at least give you the C, so we named you Crystal. We have some good friends, Diane and John, and we decided to use her middle name, and like I said, the last name was Johnson. And I think it worked out real well because you are a very intelligent person, and that's Crystal. You're crystal clear in what you're trying to achieve. So I think it really worked out.
So my name was supposed to be Claiborne?
Well, we were thinking about Claiborne, but we didn't want you to. They wanted to have my name.
Okay.
But we didn't want to name you a boy's name, so Crystal fit the role at that time.
Okay. Well, you just said that your first name was after your grandfather. I'm gonna guess the middle name is after your grandfather as well.
I'm not sure about that. I think my mother was an avid Bible reader, so I'm thinking she took the Timothy from the Bible.
Okay. And the next two questions are you named after anyone, which we already answered. If you had a chance to change your first name, what would it be? For you, I don't think you would change your first name.
This is a true statement. It's a unique name, and I won't say it had brought me success, but it has taken me places that I thought I would never go.
Okay. Where are you from?
Originally, we're from Cambridge.
No, you're supposed to answer for me.
Oh, where are you from? Well, originally you were born here in Petersburg, and it was a very unique story. We was sitting here the night, the week, I guess, that you were due, and your mother had eaten either something spicy or something, and we were sitting here talking, and all of a sudden you stood up in her stomach.
What do you mean stood up?
We could see your head. You were supposed to be getting ready to be born, but you, for some reason, you turned and you stood up, and your head was just poked up out of her stomach.
What?
And then you decided to lay down, and so when she was pregnant to go to have you, they used the word, which is breech, that you were turned the wrong way because you had turned your head facing up, and they were trying to wait for you to turn, but you never would. But it was so funny because we were sitting here looking at TV, and all of a sudden this little head just stood right on up.
Wow. Okay. You are from Cambridge. I don't know the story because I wasn't there. I'm gonna assume it was a very intense birth that um that didn't involve hospitals. I'm gonna assume. I don't know.
That is correct. That is correct. It was born in a little house not far from the house that our parents and your grandparents lived in. But yeah, I was born with a midwife.
Did y'all have baby showers back then?
Now that I'm not sure, but I don't think so, because back then everybody of that age were either working or trying to raise a family. So I don't think they had anything such as a baby shower.
Okay, gotcha. Um, what is your favorite thing about yourself?
My favorite thing about myself is I've always been determined. If I start something, I want to either try to do it as best I can or do it until I can get it right. And I guess that's where you all get your drive from, is that I've always tried to be better or do better just to show that I could do it.
Okay, I would say for me it's my creativity. Um, what is your biggest accomplishment?
Oh, wow. I guess my biggest accomplishment was to raise a family that I really, I guess, had no experience at doing. Um, because there was no book written on how to raise kids, and particularly girls. And so it was kind of a go as you learn as you go, and we had to be very careful. So that was one of our biggest, maybe our biggest accomplishment in our lives.
For me, it will probably be, I guess, picking the career that I want. Because it's different, and I haven't seen, or there's not anybody in our family that has picked the same creative career. So instead of just, I guess, following the trend, I picked something completely different. So yeah.
Let's see. So,
What is your favorite food?
oh wow, my favorite food. I love a lot of vegetables, but I think my favorite would be fish. Um, Even though I don't eat it as much as I should, but I love fish.
Okay, I would say for me, mac and cheese. What is your favorite? Um, what's your favorite music genre?
My favorite music, because I was in the DJ business, so to speak, or radio business, I had an opportunity to sample all facets of music. I really liked jazz and rhythm and blues, because they were very soothing and they had meaning at the time that I was coming up.
Okay, mine would be um, I would say R&B. Yeah, I would say R&B because I like all songs have storytelling, but I like the storytelling in R&B. What is your biggest fear?
Oh wow! I guess my biggest fear I guess was not being able to achieve everything I want before I guess my life ends. I want to always continue to strive to reach that next level. I guess that's the competitiveness in me. Is even though I get to the particular level that I'm looking for, I'm still looking to go even higher.
My biggest fear is pitch black darkness. I guess like the sight, losing sight, because I'm a creative and I'm a visual person. So losing my sight is the biggest fear.
Oh wow.
What's your biggest regret, if you have any?
I guess my biggest regret is that there were a lot of things that I could have done that I didn't go in that direction because there's opportunities in every area that you can even think of, and so I wish I would have strived to just try to do it all, so that I wouldn't have any regrets when I got of age or in my life where I would be sitting in a rocking chair saying, I wish I could have, wish I would have, wish I could have done that, and I didn't do it.
Is there an example of something that, like a place you want to travel to, or a job that you passed on?
Well, not so much as a job, because the job that I had was a job, and I'm just looking back when I heard you said you chose a path that no one else has went in. The jobs that I went for, and this is was something I said when I was younger. I wanted a job that didn't get my hands dirty. Now I don't know what that entails, but it just so happened that the job that I ended up with was dealing with computers. So I never, had a chance to have to get my hands dirty. But I wish I would have traveled more when I was in the service. Even though I did travel, I wish I would have traveled even more.
Okay. My biggest regret so far, I wish I would have taken a year off before I started college, because I feel like that's just kind of the thing you're supposed to do. Or like when you're in high school, everyone puts the pressure on you to, the next step is to go to college. I just wish I would have taken the time to have more life experience before I went to college, because I feel like I would have made better decisions with like more life decision or more critical thinking skills, and just I guess been more prepared, because I feel like high school just kind of, it didn't really help me prepare for college. It was just kind of like, this is just what you're supposed to do next, and not really give kind of a background of why and what college is really for. I feel like now I'm learning what college was really about. I recently watched a video from a guy named Gary V, who is an entrepreneur, and he talks about how college really, it helps you get a job, but it doesn't really help you get a career. If you want a good job, then of course you go to college. But if you want like a career, it's really more about experience and who you know and who knows you versus the degree that you have. So that would be my regret so far. What has required the most courage of you in your life so far?
I guess what is the thing that I think that requires the most courage is being able to be an example for our nieces and nephews, and you guys coming up behind us and just trying to set a not the perfect example, but an example of what you either need to strive to be or who you need to hang around. And so this is what we try to do. Don't always do it, but we are hoping that something that we do or say will inspire you guys to go forth.
For me, I would say probably starting a YouTube channel. What was your favorite TV show when you were a child?
Oh wow. A favorite TV show, I had right many of them, but I guess my favorite would be, which I'm still watching now, the Andy Griffin Show. But even before then, I can only think of, we only had like 3 channels when I was younger, 3 main channels. And I can always remember looking at this show called Lassie, which was something we always would have to watch on a Sunday. So I think that was one of the family type shows that sort of shaped the way we were. There was not many of people of that I could associate with, but that was one show that I kind of like to look at.
Okay. Mine, well, I have a lot, but I'll go with, for childhood, I would say Smart Guy. Who is the worst boss you've ever had?
Let's see. I had quite a few jobs. I guess my worst boss would be one of the general managers of the radio station that I worked for when I first got in there. He was kind of way out there, so to speak. And so I'm glad that I kind of worked on the off shift from him, so that I only saw him when he was leaving and I was coming in. But he was just one of those guys that you just couldn't feel him out, see what he was thinking.
Gotcha. Probably my first job, my work study program in college, because my boss, the dean of student affairs, I don't think she liked her job, so her door was always closed. So she didn't really help the students that much. So yeah, I would say that is the worst one I've had. Do you have any tattoos?
No. I guess the reason for it is I'm not a needles guy. I only get needles when I'm giving blood or getting a shot. I just can't see sitting there for hours getting a tattoo, even though I don't have nothing against them, but that's just not me.
Same. Do you remember your last dream?
My last dream?
Yeah.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, it was about you. And I don't know why. I was dreaming and you were in your car. And I don't know, you were driving somewhere. I can't really vision where you were going. But somehow, either you had an accident, but you didn't get hurt. And I don't know if that meant because right after that, you said that you had gotten another job. So I don't know if that dream was meant
What?
that you were going to, you were leaving where you were going and you were going new places, and they couldn't hurt you. But it was kind of strange. I tried to go back and finish it up, but I never did dream it no more.
Wow, that's scary. Because my dream last night was mom and her job had closed, and we were just driving. We were driving by the place, but it like I don't know if it had blown up or something, but she wasn't working there anymore. So that's crazy that we both dreamed about jobs.
Yeah.
Who is the first person you call when something horrible happens?
I guess my sister. I remember calling her when something, I can't remember what was going on, and the advice she gave me was, um, you're not the only one having these issues. Just think about the people that's in your life. And when I did, it made a lot of sense. So I usually call my sister.
I will call you and get your advice first as the first person. Who would you tell first if you found a dead body in your garden?
Well, I would probably tell your mother, but that's a wild question there. But yeah, I would probably tell her first, and then we would probably figure out what to do next.
It would be the same. I would tell you first. What is your most embarrassing moment?
Most embarrassing moment. I guess my most embarrassing moment was when I first got a job in IT at the bank, and I really didn't have any experience at entering the different commands to make the computer do what you want, and at the time they were training us these different commands, and you can put commands together, and the computer will do different things. And so I had written down these commands that they had told me, and one of them was $P. PPRT means to stop the printer from printing. Well, I looked at my notes and I saw the $P, and I put $P, but I didn't put the PRT on it. And lo and behold, the system started shutting down. They were trying to figure out what was going on. And so I said, yeah. They said, what happened? I said, well, I entered the P to stop the printer. And they looked at it and they said, well, you didn't put the print on the end of it. And so, lo and behold, we had to take the system down and come back up. And they were trying to figure out why. So I said, wow, what an embarrassing moment there.
For me, probably anytime I fell up the steps, leaving the metro, when I lived close to a metro station in college, because the Roslyn escalator is very long, and if you're rushing, trying to get to class, that happens. What is the name of your first pet, if you had any pets?
My name of pet?
Yeah, did you have any pets?
Yeah, I had a dog when I was a kid.
What?
It was a black German Shepherd, and he was named Hickey. I don't know where we got that name from, but yeah. He was black all over. He had one little white patch of hair on his right on his chest there, and it was pretty fun at that time. But that was the only one I ever had.
Where did y'all go to the pound, or did you find him, or?
I think I believe someone in the neighborhood at that time, people had dogs, and somebody had puppies. Their dog had puppies, and he happened to have a black German Shepherd. And I'd actually kept bugging the folks about getting one, and they finally let me have one. But yeah, at that time, people would have dogs that had puppies, and they would let us have them. So that's the only one I ever had.
Did it stay in the house, or did
Kinda, yeah. It stayed in the house.
they let you keep it in the house?
Well, they did at that time, but sometimes we would have to. My father, he didn't like it, so what we would do is we would keep him in the house while he was at work, and then when he would come home, we would put him outside because we did have a dog house for him. But he would come in the house and lay by the heater. And then sometimes at night, when it gets dark, I would have to tote him out to his dog house and put him out of his house. But yeah, he was pretty fun at that time.
Okay, I didn't know that. I think one time we had a fish for a short period of time. I don't know.
Yeah, well, yeah. And I think either you. Well, that wasn't me. Somebody left it on their television. And I think he might have got a little warm.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, that's about the size of it.
Yeah. Would you want to have a pet now?
No, because of where we live at, and because of what we got to do with pets now. But if I lived out in the country somewhere where the dogs or whatever could roam, I would probably get another one.
Would you want the same type of German Shepherd, or it doesn't matter?
I would probably want not a Rottweiler, but I can't even think of the name.
A boxer?
Not that big, but not a German Shepherd, but a Pinscher, a Doberman Pinscher. Yeah, they are fascinating looking dogs, and I would even mind having a miniature Pinscher.
Okay, I want a black cat named Salem, like Sabrina the Teenage Witch.
Oh, wow.
And another cat. I did want an English bulldog, but then I read about all their medical issues, so I don't think I want to go through all of that. How old were you when you got married?
I was 21.
What? Wow. I am not married. 21, that's crazy. Did you have a big wedding or a small wedding?
We had I guess we had a no wedding. We had a very...
You eloped?
No, we got married in the house, our parents' house. Because at the time, not my older sister, but my sister that's over me, her and her husband, he had just became a minister. And so we decided to let them marry us.
Would you do it again, knowing what you know now?
Yeah, I got no regrets.
Would you, I don't know, decide to have a big wedding later, or now? Would you have a big wedding?
I don't think I'd have a big wedding. I'm just not into I guess big festivities like that. So not on my part.
Okay. I'm not married. I don't care about weddings like that, so I don't know. I guess I'll answer that when the time comes. What is one thing you rather pay someone to do than do yourself, and why?
Well, it's getting to be a hassle now, but I think I'd rather pay somebody to cut my grass and do the trimming and all. When I first started doing it, it was not too bad, but now it's getting to be a kind of a chore now. So I would probably get me a manicurist, so to speak, a lawn manicurist rather, to do the outside work.
I would pay someone to clean my apartment or do my laundry. Yeah. What is one guilty pleasure?
I guess eating sweets. I try to cut back on them, but I guess that's the one guilty pleasure. Is I just love them. They satisfy, I guess, the sweet tooth that I have. Even though I don't eat them as often, but when I do get the opportunity, it's just a case of just trying to satisfy that sweet tooth.
For me, it'll probably be watching reality TV. Are you a morning person or a night owl?
I guess I'm in between. I guess my job that I worked at for over 30 some years, I was either evening or night or overnight. And so when I recently retired, I just kept the same type of hours. So I'm a very early morning person. So my early mornings would be part of the night. So I guess I'm a night morning type person.
Okay. I would say, I guess I'm a morning person. Like, if I have to, I'd rather get up early than, and like get stuff done to have the rest of the day than to start it late and then have to make up for it. What's the first thing you do when you open your eyes in the morning?
Pray.
I usually put my alarm on snooze and go back to sleep for 9 minutes. What is the first book you remember reading?
There was a book that's I still got a copy of it. It's called Black Athletes: A Shameful Story. Very interesting book. If anybody gets a chance to either look it up or try to read it, it's got some fascinating facts in it.
The first book I remember reading, probably in school, something about a magic tree house. I can't remember the title, but it was about these two kids that went on adventures in their tree house. It was a series of books. What book are you reading at the moment?
Well, let me see. I can't remember. I know I'm constantly reading the Bible because there's so much that I thought I knew that I didn't know. So I constantly read that. Because even though I have read it, when I go back again, I see things that I thought I read, but I seem to have missed or didn't comprehend at the time.
Okay. Currently I am reading a few books, but I'll say Becoming by Michelle Obama is the current one. What is the last film you saw?
Last film?
Mm-hmm.
I went to see Creed 2.
Oh yeah, that was good. Um, what was the last film I saw? Well, um, it was on Netflix. It's called Abducted at Plain Sight.
Okay.
It's a documentary, and um, it will make you mad. Um, what's the last thing that you watched on TV?
The last thing I watched on TV was I think it was, I just watched it the other day, the Fight for Fallujah, and that's like a documentary of the battle in Afghanistan. I don't know why always interested in seeing how those guys got through that and how they made it back.
The last thing I watched on TV was Love After Lockup. What's the strangest thing you believed as a child?
Let's see here. The strangest thing I believed as a child was, I guess, that Santa Claus came down the chimney and we didn't have one.
Probably the Easter Bunny. I guess I'm still not, even now, I'm still not sure what the purpose of the Easter Bunny is for. Yeah, I'm not sure, like, I don't understand the purpose because it's not in the Bible, so I'm not sure what that means.
I don't think nobody does.
What piece of technology can you not live without?
Not live without, probably the television, because I will stay on 24/7. So I know a lot of people have other things, but if I can have that on, I probably could make it.
Yeah, I would say my phone. Because I do I research, listen to music, watch YouTube videos. So I would say my phone. What was your first ever cell phone?
My first ever cell phone was the old bag cell phone. I can remember, and as a matter of fact, when I had my old green truck and I finally had an accident in it, and I was gonna clean it out because they were going to junk it, and I happened to look under the seat and I found it. It was a bag phone that was probably as big as a magazine.
I remember that. I can't remember. I feel like I had a flip phone, a blue LG flip phone, I think. And it.
Yeah, I think it played out.
Yeah. But that was a big thing to have a cell phone that flipped and could take pictures. If you could have any job, what would it be and why?
If I could have any job, the job that I would probably have would be a syndicated radio announcer. Because I've always, I don't know why, I've always dreamed about owning a radio station. I did the research and all, but at the times that I was coming up, that was something that was pretty much out of reach. But yeah, if I could get a syndicated radio show, that would be probably my ideal job now.
Okay, mine would be something involving traveling. So, like, if I produced or hosted like a travel show, or if I was a creative director for a tour or photographer or videographer for someone that travels. That would be something that I would want to do. What is the hardest thing about being a parent?
I guess the hardest thing about being a parent is trying to ensure that your children are first of all safe and are focused on what they really want to do in life, and trying to try to help them as much as I can without being overbearing, as to get to where they want to get in life. So that's what that's a tough thing to try to do. But you want your children to always succeed, not so much maybe be better, but you want them to be the best at whatever they do, and you always want to try to help them to get on the path to going there.
Gotcha. I do not have any kids. I cannot answer this. How many siblings do you have?
2. I have 2 older sisters.
Same, I have 2 older sisters. If you could live anywhere in the world, where would it be and why?
I guess this is where we have so much in common. When I was younger, I always wanted to go to California. Didn't know how I was going to get there, but that was one of the reasons why I joined the Navy, because I knew that I could get to California. And even though I joined, lo and behold, I still didn't get there, but I got a chance to go to another West Coast state, which allowed me to go to California. But I always dreamed of, I guess, going to California.
Same. I want to live in a bunch of different places. California being the top one, New Orleans, and Paris. Would you rather go bungee jumping or skydiving?
That's a tough choice there, because both of them require you to be suspended in air. So I would probably like to go skydiving.
Same. Would you rather have $1 million right now or 1 penny doubling every day for 30 days?
Now I know I've heard that before, but I think I would rather have $1 million now, so I can invest it and turn it into maybe 10 million or whatever.
Yes, I will agree with that. Pick one. Free healthcare or free education?
Wow, that's a toughie. I guess I would go with I guess free healthcare, because then I would be healthy enough to maybe work and get an education.
Yeah, that is hard. I guess I would go with healthcare as well. When was the last time you got into a fist fight?
I guess when I was a late 8th grader, many years ago.
What was the fight over?
It's been so long ago, I don't even remember.
Did you fight a lot in school?
No. I never even got into two fights in school. I was always standoffish.
Okay. Yeah, I've never gotten into a fist fight. Are you close to anyone now that you initially disliked?
Am I close to anyone now that I I initially dislike? I would say no. My circle of friends is very small, and even to this day, those are the same people that I grew up with, and we're still very close.
Okay. And what makes you proud of your father and your mother?
I'm proud of my father and my mother. I'm proud of my father because he taught me my work ethics. I can remember him always working constantly, even when I was in school and in grade school or high school. He never was able to make none of the games and stuff that I played, but because he was always working. But he always would always find out what the score was. My mother, she was a rock. She was always made sure that all our needs were met and that we were at the right place when we should be. And so that kind of rubbed off on us. So yeah.
For me, I appreciate the work ethic and just the respect and leadership that both of you have, and the patience. Yeah. And then the last question: if you had 1 year left to live, what would you do? If you knew you had 1 year left to live, what would you do?
I guess if I had one year left, I wouldn't say I would try. I would try to do everything that I hadn't done, but I guess I would try to do a little more traveling, or try to do as much traveling as I could with the time that I had left, and try to, I guess, always call on family and all. But yeah, that would be the biggest thing is just to live. I guess they say live your best life, but live it as in your best day.
Okay. I would quit my job and just travel the world, and be happy. And yeah, that is all of the questions so far. Do you have anything else you want to share before we end this episode?
Well, I just want to say that I hope that this is going to be the start of something big. And like I said, of course, we're going to be coming to you, I don't know, periodically or weekly or however often. But we're going to have some interesting subjects. So stay tuned.
See you guys.